Make your next move with American Express Business Platinum. You'll get 5 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels booked on AmexTravel.com. Plus, enjoy access to the American Express Global Lounge Collection. And with the welcome offer of 150,000 points, your business can soar to all new heights. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum. Amex Business Platinum. Built for business by American Express.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. Sometimes the most painful part of getting sick is the getting better part. Waiting on hold for an appointment, sitting in crowded waiting rooms, standing in line at the pharmacy, that's painful. Amazon One Medical and Amazon Pharmacy remove those painful parts of getting better with things like 24/7 virtual visits and prescriptions delivered to your door. Thanks to Amazon Pharmacy and Amazon One Medical, healthcare just got less painful.
33 episodes in. That's what you're about to listen to. I'm Kobe.
I'm Helen.
And this is Flixwatcher Podcast.
Today we are reviewing Okja, the 2007 film from Joon-ho Snowpiercer, Bong. And our guests are Gail.
Hello, I'm Gail Porter. Thank you very much for having me.
You're very welcome. And Boyd.
Hello. Thank you for having me as well.
Guys, if you want to get in touch, join us on Twitter at FlixWatcherPod. Come and visit us on our website, flixwatcher.tv, and go to iTunes. Subscribe to us, review, and share with your friends, because sharing is caring. So all films were available on Netflix at the time of recording, guys. Just as a bit of a warning, there is some bad language and there will be spoilers. You have been warned. So this episode of Flixwatcher Podcast has been brought to you by Geo Productions. And I have to say massive thanks to Geo Productions. They've been holding my hand on Flixwatcher with Helen and I with their superb sexual editing skills. They're producing podcasters and helping podcasters like ourselves, helping us sound awesome. So we really want to big you guys up. And they said, if anyone out there wants to be a podcaster and wants their help, then reach out to them, podcast@glpro.co.uk, and tell them that Flixwatcher sent you, and you'll get 10% off your first package, off your first order, so you've got nothing to lose.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Flixwatcher Pod. Today we are joined by our special guests Gail Porter and Boyd Hilton. If you would like to say hello, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do and where we might be able to find you online.
Oh my gosh, Boyd, you want to go first? I'm Gail, obviously, because I've got the girly voice. Boyd?
I thought you were going first. You're going first.
I know I'm going first, but do you know what? I thought we'd just have a bit of a...
Yeah, I like it.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good.
I'm Boyd Hilton. I'm on, you can get me. I'm on Twitter, that's my name, and it's at Boyd Hilton. Mm-hmm. Same on Instagram. And I've got 2 podcasts currently running weekly. One is called Footballistically Arsenal, and it is, funnily enough, about Arsenal. And my sidekick on it is a guy called Josh who works in this very office.
And he's been on.
He's been on, yeah. There you go. So I thought if Josh has done it, I've got to do it.
Yeah.
And then I also have a podcast called The Unmissables, which we record at Heat Magazine, which is where I work. And that is like a weekly pop culture entertainment, but mainly TV review.
Which means you have to watch a lot of Netflix.
I do watch a lot of Netflix, yeah. Huge amounts.
Coincidentally perfect for this show.
Yeah, right, yeah. And my job title is Entertainment Director at Heat Magazine. Yeah, and I do lots of things like, I interview people and I do host events at BAFTA and stuff like that.
It sounds like a rubbish job.
Yeah, who'd want that job?
Boyd, please may I be your assistant?
Yes, anytime.
Thank you very much.
And who are you, Gail?
Who am I? Oh my gosh. Wow. I've been asked that many a time. My name's Gail Porter. I'm a bald lady that works on the television and I'm writing a book and I love my movies and I'm a mum and I got naked quite a few times and I do kind of anything. And I watch a lot of films. I watch a lot of Netflix. And do you know what my daughter said to me the other day? My daughter, who's now 15, she said, "Mummy, what do you do?" And I went, "Do you know what? I have absolutely no idea. No idea whatsoever. But all I know is I'm happy.
Fantastic.
And also I don't have to buy shampoo. So it's a win-win from me."
But also you're quite a regular guest on the Distraction Pieces Network with Scroobius Pip and the Hardcore Listings guys.
Yeah, I work a lot with Hardcore Listings and Scroobius Pip, and I do a lot on the right stuff. And I just talk a lot and write a lot. And I think my calling at the moment is finishing my novel. So I'm extremely excited about that.
Can you let us know anything about that at all?
It's a little bit like Girl Interrupted meets Trainspotting.
Oh,
wow.
Fantastic.
So it's kind of...
Sounds great.
Yeah, I'll send you the synopsis
do,
if
yeah.
you would like
Yeah.
to read it.
Has it got a title? Can you reveal the title?
I can't come up with one. Actually, we should
okay.
have a chat about this.
Okay.
That's the only thing I've got. I've got like 3 or 4 different publishers that want it,
Yeah.
and I haven't decided on who I want, and I can't decide on a title.
Okay.
Because I was going to come up with Not Dead Yet, but then Phil Collins blinking named his
Oh,
tour
yeah.
that.
Yeah. That's a
Damn
shame.
you, bald person that plays the drum.
Bald person's ruining your life.
They're just bald people just ruined me. What's all that about?
So maybe we can get some of the Flixwatcher Twitter fans to
Yeah,
suggest
ideas,
some
yeah,
titles.
good
If
idea.
you can come up with an idea for me, that'd be great. I'm not
Yeah.
going to give you any cash.
But
I'll
this
take
one, the
you out for
kudos.
tea or something.
a
Do you know
retweet.
what I mean?
Yeah, just want the kudos, don't they?
Yeah.
So, Gail, you chose Okja.
I did, yes.
Yeah. So can you let us know why you chose it and give us a bit of a synopsis?
Well, Okja, it was basically my daughter, who's 15. She recommended it to me because I love my films. I tend to go for very dark films. You know, I mean, my favourite film of all time is Harold and Maude.
Oh,
It's not on Netflix, but
it used to be. It was on there for
it was on for a
while.
wee while,
Yeah.
but it's not anymore. But anyway, Okja, my daughter mentioned it to me, and I watched it, and I cry at everything. And so when I watch Okja, it's basically about a genetically modified pig. So Tilda Swinton, who's like the most amazing baddie in it, and the strangest thing was I used to babysit for her nieces and nephew.
Oh, fantastic.
So her brother, Jamie Swinton, was my boss. So I used to see her come in when I used to babysit. I was about 17, 18 years old. And she used to come in and, you know, she's beautiful and she'd have these long black dresses on. And she'd be like having a little cigarette going, oh, yeah, we're going to be back in about an hour. Like 2 days later, they'd come back and I'm still going, I will pay you later. I'm like, I don't care. You guys are just like crazy. But she's so brilliant in it and she plays such an amazing baddie. So she wants to modify these pigs to make them huge and sort of get as much, you know, meat from them. And yeah, it's just horrible and awful. And so there's a farmer that looks after Okja, and he's basically to have this pig getting bigger and bigger and bigger on his farm, and he's got this lovely granddaughter,
Mija.
and Mija obviously falls in love with Okja. I mean, how can you not fall in love with the biggest pig in the world ever? I mean, I've been married.
Okja's awesome.
But I'm joking. No, but Okja is just like the most beautiful pig, and they have this like love story at the very beginning, and then suddenly the grandfather has to get rid of the pig, and of course Mija wants to, is not having any of it. So yeah, it's just sort of a love story, and there's like a vigilante group that want to try and save all these amazing pigs, and then Tilda Swinton's just being Tilda Swinton and mean, and I don't want to spoil it, but it's just a beautiful story. It's like a love story.
We did say you could spoil, and Gail said
I'm not
you said
gonna.
you don't want to.
I don't want to
I think
spoil
the three of
things.
us. I think the rest of us might spoil
We might
bits of it.
accidentally spoil bits of it.
Okay, well you go. I'm
I'll
not
spoil
doing it, but it's just so beautiful. And the girl that plays Mija, I mean,
Oh, she's awesome.
She's absolutely amazing, and the whole special effects, everything about the whole film is just, it's magical. And I think sometimes when I watch so many dark things, there's sometimes when my daughter goes, Mum, you got to watch this, and you just think, oh, it's going to be really sad. And okay, I'll spoil it a little bit. It's not that sad. It gets happy.
Boyd, what are your thoughts on?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things that you didn't mention, Gail, in your otherwise
Sorry.
magical, but there's a lot going on in this film.
Yeah, no,
and so we
exactly.
should mention the fact that Jake Gyllenhaal plays this kind of
Yes.
absolutely ludicrous kind of wildlife expert TV star.
Yeah,
he's
oh,
like, yeah, isn't and
He's really odd. It's a
Yeah.
really odd character, and I
Yeah.
couldn't
Really
quite
odd.
figure out if I liked him or not.
no. Well, I mean, he's immensely irritating, but
He's very
but
irritating.
Jake Gyllenhaal throws himself into that
does
role.
not hold back at all, does he?
Unbelievable. It's one of the most extraordinary performances of his career. And then there's also this group of kind of pro-animal liberation terrorists,
the
basically.
vigilantes.
The vigilantes
Yeah.
who...
The ALF, Animal Liberation
ALF
Front.
right,
Yeah.
who kind of trying to rescue Okja from the evil Tilda Swinton-led corporation. And they're kind of... But they're also... As the film goes on, I thought what was quite impressive about it was their morality is questioned as well, because their techniques and their methods are borderline terrorists, basically. And
Oh, well, exactly.
That all
and the
comes
thing
out.
is, what I always thought is when they try to get Okja out the back of into a truck,
Yeah.
you just think it's not going to be that secret
Right.
because
Exactly.
he's
Pretty
kind
big
of
pig.
massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you going to do this? And yet, like you say, they are sort of borderline terrorists, and it gets a little bit violent, and you
does,
just think,
yeah.
so hang on, where's the sort
Yeah.
of line
Yeah.
here? But I understand that. I mean, when it comes to animals, I would probably crossed the line.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it is a really interesting mix, isn't it? Of kind. It starts out, you think it's almost like a fable, and it's very almost like family friendly. You got this girl that kind of running through the fields with this giant, wonderful.
It's very
cute
Disney-esque
pig.
at the start.
Very Disney-esque, and then by the end, it's really dark and horrible. And
it's not for kids. Just
no,
by the way.
absolutely not for
younger
kids,
children,
no.
But I think also, like when it's the grandfather, isn't it? The grandfather,
Yeah.
and when he's just like he's quite happy for his granddaughter to not be part of it because he wants to sell the pig.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what? This is your family. He doesn't care. He doesn't care what she thinks. He's just like,
Absolutely,
we want the money. We want, it is quite upsetting.
Helen.
Oh my gosh, my daughter was the one that like
Oh,
said.
15. Your daughter's 15.
She's
That's
15.
fine. That's fine. I think it's anyone younger than 15. I think would be dodgy, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty bonkers. I mean, I haven't seen Snowpiercer, which is on my list of things to see, but yeah. I mean, there's so different kind of themes. I was thinking, how would we kind of categorize it? Because it's kind of fantasy, it's kind of sci-fi.
I don't
it's
think
kind
you
of
could
a bit
categorise it.
adventure.
No, it's one of the best things about it it's kind of fantasy, sci-fi, fable, allegory, anti-meat eating, tract, comedy.
That is
slash
a
violent,
genre on Netflix.
dark.
And Boyd Hilton puts on the back of the DVD. It just goes on forever. It's just like, but it's
a thriller, kind of. It does got action, adventure, isn't it? And I mean, it is that. But I think that's the best thing about it is how uniquely uncategorizable. That's the boldness of it, isn't it? That it just defies any easy categorization and kind of almost. I can't think of anything particularly like it. I was trying to rack my brains just to think about a film that's
no, because I must admit, the first time I watched it, I did think I've got no idea what this film is because usually you can say, right, that's my favorite kind of thriller. This is this, and I watched Okja and I was like, I've got no idea what this is. I've got no clue whatsoever. I kind of went, do I like this? Do I not? Do I? And then by the end of it, I was like, I really enjoyed it. But the thing was, Tilda Swinton sort of knocked me for a little bit because I wasn't sure. It was almost comical at the beginning. And then she sort of grew into this evil character. It was almost like a Cruella de Vil sort of metamorphosis. And so at the beginning, I was just like, I'm not entirely sure about this. But then by the end of it, I was like, I think like this.
It's quite hard not to be drawn in by the cast here. Paul Dano is one of the guys.
Yes, pretty star-studded.
Animal Liberation Front. Stephen Yeun, if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, is in there. Also, your man from Breaking Bad, who plays Gus Fring. So there's a lot of things to drag you in there. Yeah. And one thing you haven't said, which might be a spoiler, which is a spoiler.
Don't. I swear to God, what are you doing?
Is Tilda Swinton doesn't just play.
Yes.
Doesn't do what, sorry?
Doesn't just play
more than one person, yeah.
Oh, don't do that. So anyway.
I don't think that's even a spoiler.
No.
Anyone that's listening to the podcast, can I get a whoop, whoop, da, da, da. Stop. Okay, well, you spoil it. I'm not spoiling it. You do it.
Helen, you can spoil it.
Oh,
I'm not spoiling it. And also, I quite like how this is obviously set in the near future, but it's like, this could like happen in a year, maybe. Someone could be breeding.
It could be happening now.
Super pigs, and it kind of
we've got Donald Trump as a
very
president.
fine line about it.
It does kind of scare me about the kind of experiments that people are running at anyone. There's like 7 billion people on the planet. There's some mad shit happening somewhere. And this could be that mad shit quite
super
conceivably.
pigs happening somewhere.
Yeah.
I would have a super pig
Would you?
in a minute.
Just as a pet though.
Absolutely, yeah. I would not eat a pig. No.
Are you? If you don't mind me asking, vegetarian, vegan? Are you?
Oh no, I'm not vegan.
Okay.
I eat fish. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Same.
I don't eat a super fish. I'm not going to eat like a massive fish.
Well, that could be the sequel.
That could be the sequel.
super fish
What would it
sequel.
called? If it's called Okja and we're going to have
Squishy,
samja,
splashy fish.
Junja,
Junja.
samja,
Yeah.
Seabastia.
We should say as well. I have to hold up. I have to admit that I know a friend of mine wrote the screenplay for this film, Jon Ronson.
Seriously?
There you go. I was going to.
So, and he is the author of books like The Psychopath Test. He's a brilliant.
Men Hysteric Goats.
Yeah.
Men Hysteric Goats.
Is he married?
He is married, unfortunately. Yeah, sorry. Lovely wife, and they live in New York now. He moved to New York with his son, and he has written a few scripts, but I think this is his absolute triumph of a script.
Really?
Yeah, because
So where did he come from this? What?
well, it's quite random that he was asked to do it. I mean, he's written the film scripts, but he became famous by making documentaries and kind of writing about true life. Kind of very interesting, quirky people in real life, and kind of looking at conspiracy theorists and psychopaths and kind of society's outsiders. That kind of a little bit like Louis Theroux-ish.
See, I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
Jon Ronson's is if you like that
He's
kind of
brilliant,
vibe,
isn't
it's
he?
fantastic.
Yeah. His books are brilliant. I
Oh
urge
my gosh, yeah, of course, I've read.
his last book, in fact. So now I'm going on about Jon Ronson. Sorry, his
fine.
last book, which was So You Think You've Been Publicly Shamed, is an absolute
I heard
must
about
read.
that. I've not read it.
That's all about, and that's particularly relevant now. I mean, it gets more relevant. It came out, I think, 2 years ago, but it gets more relevant by the month because it's about how people on Twitter and social media, if they say the wrong thing, they can ruin their life because everyone piles on.
Yeah.
And so I think
That's so true.
yeah, totally true. Yeah,
You should
It's so weird because
just read the first chapter of that and you'll be hooked into,
it's so
into
good.
it completely.
The thing with Twitter and everything like that,
Yeah.
I read people's. I mean, I'm addicted to Twitter, but I always count to 10 when I read things, and I think, do you know what? Sometimes people put things on too quickly, and you
Right.
think, do you know what? That could ruin you.
yeah,
Just think about it.
Absolutely.
Do you actually need to put that on? Do you need
Totally.
everyone
Are
to
you
read your
speaking
thoughts?
about anyone in particular?
Well, there's so many people.
There's so many
but,
people,
yeah.
and it's a rein
People
it in.
don't think. People
No.
don't think, and people think that if they're angry, you read it. I always read. I do things like, oh, I can't sleep, or I'm watching a great film. I keep it generic, and that's the easiest way to do it. And sometimes I watch people I just think you've just exploded. You have just gone, bam. You have got my anger. Why would you do that online? You're gonna do it. Write it down. Count to 10.
I
Take a
feel
deep breath.
Advice for the president there
Absolutely.
of the USA.
Because the problem with
POTUS.
the problem with I thought you were thinking the problem with Donald Trump is he has no shame, so he can't be publicly shamed because he's the most
No,
shameless human
there's
being
nothing.
in the world. He is probably a psychopath. If you look at the psychopath test, then he kind of does.
He
fit all of
he
the-
fits it.
Yeah, he does fit
Not
it,
that
yeah.
I've done it in private with him.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Have you done it?
Have you done
Yeah.
DSM-4? Have you?
No, not for me, but I did it for him.
He meets it. Yeah.
way up
he
there.
is way up there. Yeah. But anyway, I think the reason. But back to Jon Ronson, the reason why he was asked to write the script by Bong Joon-ho was because I think he must have felt that John has a brilliant awareness of what's going on right now in society. He's absolutely clued into the Western, particularly, and so when it comes to the story of this wonderful pig and the wonderful little girl being taken to the West, and kind of that horrible, there's a real sense of how nasty Western civilization is right now, and I think John has that awareness of the really nasty aspects of, and I'm guessing, I don't know for a fact, I haven't spoken to him about it, but I think that's why he wrote this. He was asked to write the script by the director, and I think it is a brilliant script because
I totally
it
forgot
takes
about
in
the
so
Jake
much.
Gyllenhaal because he was just so awful.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
He was just horrendous.
What do you think? He's just a sad character, isn't he? He's someone who was like.
He was just an
He was at the top
egotistical maniac that just wanted people to think that, oh my gosh, I'm in touch with wildlife. I know everything. And he was just not.
No.
He just basically needed to get laid.
Yeah, but you mean
Can I say that?
Yeah.
I've
I mean,
said
it's,
it now,
it's,
haven't I?
it's an addition to the Jake Gyllenhaal sort of list of really horrible characters that he's been
I
playing.
love him.
Yeah, it's
And
brilliant.
some really,
So give us a few of your favourites.
well, Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the one you want to
he was great. in
go
that,
straight
yeah.
to, and that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
he should have won the Oscar for that. Yeah, he was
He was
robbed. He wasn't even
brilliant in that.
nominated. Yeah, outrageous.
He's kind of on a mission to make himself into this kind of the most unlikable person on screen.
But he plays likable people as well, though. And he plays
Not
kind of.
recently.
Donnie's a good
Anything
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but this
Donnie.
is not recently. Anything
Life,
he's made.
Life, have you seen
Donnie
Life, the film
Darko.
Life about,
No,
which is
not
like
yet.
Alien, but it's kind of exactly like Alien, really. He's a nice guy in that.
What was it?
Donnie Darko is
Southpaw?
one of those films that
Yeah,
you can watch
Southpaw.
you can watch it once a year and still
Absolutely.
not entirely sure what on earth is going on.
I
but
love
you
that film.
love it.
Absolutely
I love
to
that
death.
film.
Can I give you an interesting fact about Jake Gyllenhaal?
I'd
It's-
love one.
In,
Did you just Google that?
No. I this is genuinely from because you get to go to they do BAFTA screenings of films like this. In fact, I think they probably did do one, and certainly his most a lot of his recent films have been nominated, or kind of he's been up there.
Awards ceremonized.
He's award ceremonized. And I went to one once, and someone asked him in the Q&A. So he did a Q&A, and someone asked him, well, how do you choose your projects? How do you choose your films? And you expect actors to always say, the script or the director. He said the way he chooses his films is the cinematographer.
Oh,
Wow.
That's the first thing he
So
That's
who's
really
interesting?
impressive.
Who shot
That's
this then?
impressive.
So this was shot. Well, it is visually stunning. This film.
Yeah.
So I was going to go on to say. So it's slightly, and it's very interesting that we're at this point with where Netflix has brilliantly made motion picture films that are being watched primarily on screens, on small screens.
Absolutely.
It's a kind of weird situation, but that's what he said. In fact, I can find out the cinematographer. I'll just look it up. I should have thought about that more.
I struggled last night.
Darius Conde?
George Conjura, he's a very famous, very highly. He's one of the, I would say, top 4 or 5 very, very widely admired, and
Amour,
respected.
Seven, Delicatessen.
Right,
Midnight
Seven.
in
I mean,
Paris.
Seven is one of the most beautiful, influential
Delicatessen.
visual visual films ever. So yeah, there you go. It's
Who even-
so
You
interesting.
can't see it, but Gail's face then after saying
Delicatessen.
delicatessen.
Oh my gosh. Well, Seven.
Seven.
Oh,
That's one of my favourite films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can it not be?
I mean, do you know what? When it came to Goop and I was just like,
Did
do
you
know
see
what?
her-
That head in the box.
Did you see Gwyneth Paltrow's Halloween
Yeah, I
costume?
know. That was actually quite
Fantastic.
funny.
Yeah, that was cool.
I
That's the
didn't
coolest
think-
thing.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think she had a sense of humour.
No, me neither.
Because when I read all about Goop and everything,
Yeah,
I was
Goop's
like,
a
oh,
load
come
of
on.
nonsense.
And then when I saw her with her head in the box, I was like,
Yeah, that was the best thing she's done for years.
But
So-
I think probably somebody did it for her.
Maybe
She's probably got some PR person that's gone,
maybe.
do you know
Oh,
what?
cynical.
I am cynical. When it comes to Goop, seriously,
No, Goop
Gwyneth?
is a load of old nonsense.
Shit.
Yeah.
So you talked about Jon Ronson. One of my favourite films of recent years is Frank, which is also
Yes.
Jon Ronson.
Yeah, he wrote
And that's
that. Yeah,
semi-autobiographical.
that is. Yeah,
I think he had another one that's out recently in the London Film Festival. I'm not sure if that's...
he might have done, did he? Oh, no, you're gonna have to.
Let's have a
I
check.
missed that one.
But
Oh,
I look forward to everything. I'm going to see him, as we record this, it's November, I'm going to see him. He's coming to do a show at King's
Is he?
Place, which is the home of podcasting, if you're listening, guys, at King's Place. And yeah, I'm
Can
looking
I
forward.
come?
I think so, yeah, of course.
What do you mean you think so?
Of course you can. Let's do it, Gail.
I'll come.
Let's do it.
That'd be
Absolutely.
amazing. Do you know what? I don't know what I'd do without Netflix. When I finished, I know we're talking movies, but I finished Stranger Things 2 this morning about 2:00 in the morning, and I was literally like, "Oh my god, I've got
Yeah,
to get a
empty.
life at some point.
Yeah,
What's happening now? I don't know what to do. I live for Netflix at the moment." I'm not single and I don't have a cat. Okay, I've got both of those things. Don't judge me.
Well, this is, it's got the Netflix branding on it. So it's released through Netflix. Is
Yeah.
it one of those? I think.
co-financed and perhaps
So-
even predominantly financed.
So this is a Netflix original. We're going to talk about it when it comes to the scores, but this does not look like a film that we think would work well with a Netflix. This is something you want as typically a cinematic release, I would have thought, and then you see it later on DVD once you've seen it in the cinema.
I don't know. I think it works as that because I can't think of, other than obviously like being in London and having more art house cinemas. No major chain would pick this up because it's
Do you not think?
it's too bonkers and it sounds too foreign for them to have this as a major release. So by having it on Netflix and by them saying, this is one of ours, it's premiering here, it just reaches a bigger audience so much quicker.
Oh, I mean, there's the bigger audience thing completely,
Yeah.
but you still think...
I think it would have been an indie hit.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It would have, it would have been on your local Curzon or art house.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
would have been a big art
Everyone,
house
it'd
film.
be-
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely, yeah.
But
It'd be an everyman
outside
thing.
of that...
No, I
then-
agree with you. It's
No.
not a mainstream proposition, definitely not. But
And-
it is weird how this is such a visually. I
Striking.
don't know how I feel about it. I mean, there are directors, like that are really against this whole. There's a whole Cannes.
Well, Cannes Film Festival,
Cannes
no?
Film Festival controversy where they're up in
Yeah.
arms about that. And this was played at Cannes, didn't it? In fact, this was the centre of that controversy, effectively, because this played at Cannes and was eligible for the main prize at Cannes, and people were furious that it wasn't being shown in cinemas. And it's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm not sure how I feel about it. 'Cause the thing is, like you say, visually amazing. The script's amazing. It's a fantasy. It's wonderful. And you just think, is it that important that you're so angry that it's not in the cinemas? Or
Yeah.
do you know, if something's great and something's intelligent and creative, does it matter where it goes?
I think you're probably right. I agree with
Does
that.
it matter?
No, it probably doesn't matter. Yeah, I think if you're a cinema purist, I can see why it would matter, but I don't. I agree with you. Yeah.
I think in this day and age, you can't be purist.
That's
I mean,
true,
I love going to cinema. I love going to see my old films. I love going to the Everyman. I love going to the Prince Charles in Soho.
Yeah.
And I love doing my. Have you done a sing along?
I did a sing-along with Pitch Perfect when I first moved to London.
you?
I want to do a
Are
Moana
you
sing-along.
single?
I'm not single.
Well, you should be if you're doing a sing along to Pitch Perfect, my friend.
What does that say?
Anything.
What's that saying?
I'm talking like Rocky Horror Picture Show, not Pitch Perfect, sweetheart.
Me and my wife went to Pitch Perfect and loved it.
Total dissed.
I know,
For your
just
Pitch
disrespected.
Perfect
I
love.
know.
Absolutely
Oh,
disrespected.
dear.
Lordy.
Pitch Perfect 3 on the way.
Yeah, no.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That Pitch Perfect 3 and Star Wars in the same week.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
So
Do you know what? I'm actually like losing the will to live when it comes to Star Wars because
Are
I
you?
have been like the biggest Star Wars fan in the world ever. I've even gone to Tunisia to go to
Oh,
the
seriously?
sets. Yeah, I've done the whole
did you have the
thing.
blue milk?
Everything.
What, and you didn't like the last Star Wars film?
I'm finding it difficult. I think the minute Ewan McGregor,
We've really gone off topic now. Let's carry on.
sorry, the minute Ewan McGregor was in it, no.
Oh no, the prequels
Yeah,
were
yeah,
terrible, but
those
the last
ones.
sequel,
Oh,
The Force
yeah.
Awakens, was fantastic. I
Yeah,
loved it.
Force Awakens,
Oh, cool.
amazing.
That's fine.
No,
That's
but
fine.
everything
Oh
else.
yeah, no, those
you got me. Yeah, you've got me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
So Okja.
Sorry.
Back to Okja, sorry.
See, I told you. If he gets
Yes.
in here, we don't stop.
That's
Well-
what happens. We digress. It's fine. That's part of the podcasting
Sorry.
game. There's no format.
You've got to
There's no...
digress.
Apologise.
But what did you think, Kobe?
Yeah, what did you think?
You haven't.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I've not-
gosh,
I've
you
not
two
done
are
both,
so
have I?
bad.
Love
We
it.
know, we know,
Six points.
we know you love Pitch Perfect, but what about Okja?
Pitch Perfect. Excuse me. I liked it. I'm not sure I liked it as much as a lot of people. And when we had the guys from Pitch House podcast on here, and they'd seen it perhaps in a festival screen, and they were raving about it. And I'm not raving about it in the same way they did, but I think it's a great film.
Mm.
I love Paul Dano in this actually.
Yeah, he's great though.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's one of my favorites. I think I love how Jake Gyllenhaal really just dives into a role.
He's
and
really horrible.
Incredible.
it just absorbs the character, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But such a dick. But such like it's this wormy, squirrely
He's becoming
kind
a
of.
bit Robert De Niro-y,
I
isn't
was
he?
going to say he's a great dick, but that sounds really bad, doesn't it? But he's good at being a dick.
He is, yeah.
I'm sure he's got a great dick, but yeah, he's good at it.
Just to make that clear.
And one of like many films this year that has John Denver
Yes.
score in there.
It's all about John Denver this
It
year,
is,
you're right,
it's
yeah.
kicking off Free Fire,
Yeah,
Alien film.
yes. Alien, whatever it was called, not very good. Covenant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's another one that's I can't remember come off the top of my head.
Yeah, you're right. There's like 4. Yeah, isn't it in one of the like an animated film as well? And I can't remember which one.
I can't remember.
I want to.
You
Yeah.
posed this as a trivia
I did
question,
do-
so
did
you
And
should
can't
know
even
the
remember
answers.
Yeah,
That's brilliant.
It's gone from my head. But
But you're right. It's the year of Denver. Yeah.
it's the year of Denver. 2017 is the year of Denver. Yeah, it's a great film. I think people should watch it. I do think I would have liked to have seen it in the cinema, but we'll talk about it in the
Good
small
about
screen
that.
score later.
Oh yeah.
And I've not seen Snowpiercer. Have you guys seen Snowpiercer?
I have. Snowpiercer is one of the hardest films to
Fine.
get to
Fine.
watch in this
Yep.
country. It never
I
got
haven't seen it.
distribution.
What's it?
It's brilliant. It's basically it's kind of future. It's by this director on this massive train. It's on a massive train in the future where it's divided up by societies, kind of by class. And there's and Tilda Swinton's in it, and it's fantastic. And it was never got distribution in cinema, and it's never been released on DVD or Blu-ray, I believe either.
Where is it?
I've got an American DVD, and you can watch it on American iTunes if you've got American iTunes. That much I do.
I'm
Just
waiting
saying.
for Netflix to get it. And
It's
gonna
got
be
it.
top of
Someone's
my
got to
list.
get it, and I think
Yeah.
they're turning it into a TV series, I believe, as well. Yeah,
Okay.
it's an amazing.
They are.
It's really
It's just-
good. It's one of the best films that's very hard to get hold of. In this
Okay.
country, yeah.
It's a
I'll-
fable to me. I've
Yeah, we've
many
heard
people-
so much about it,
Yeah.
and yet
Yeah.
can't find it.
Can't find it.
All right, guys. I think before we go into the scores, let's have a break for popcorn.
Oh, do you literally eat popcorn in this bit?
We do.
We
Love
do.
it.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
like popcorn.
You like the sound?
You
You
don't-
like? So I'm going to have some popcorn here.
This
Oh,
is
I hate that crunchy sound.
No, you're so anti-popcorn, aren't you?
I just don't like crunching.
You don't even eat it when you're not in the cinema.
No, I don't. I
No.
don't.
Oh no, you
eat
don't like popcorn. We'll have
That's
some
pure. That is. Nice.
cheese.
I think this is the first non-popcorn
popcorn fan.
popcorn moment.
I don't like popcorn. I
So
don't like.
do you like
anything
any
sweet.
snack? Any snack for the cinema?
Cheese. No, I don't take snacks to cinema. No, that's like sacrilege. I'm sorry. My cinema experience is like
Where do you like to sit in the cinema?
on my own. On my own in the middle
talking to you.
or at the front. But you know what? I had this wee period of my life. Well, okay, I'm still doing it. I go on my own. And I love it because, you know, I did film when I was at university and that was my thing. And so there's a man that sits at the back of my cinema. I say it's my cinema. It's not really my cinema. It's owned by the Odeon. But anyway, it's my cinema. But he sits at the back and I was going, oh, weird man on his own at the back. And then I'm now going in. He's like, all right. I was like, oh my God, he thinks I'm weird bald woman at the front on her own. And I'm thinking he's weird and he's thinking she's weird. So I've got a kind of like, all right.
Well, like, 'cause I'm a freelancer, so I go to cinema quite often in the day because it's just easier and by myself. And normally it's scattered single blokes go by themselves.
And me.
Yeah. And now, Gail, if I find you going to sit next to you and
I'll be like that, all right?
Well, so
High five me. Yeah.
No, do you ever tempted just to go and sit next to one and just really creep them out?
No, do you know what? Someone did that to me, boys.
just breathe on
I'm
them.
not even
Really?
joking. I went to the Leicester Square when I first moved to London. I was like, do you know what? I love my films. I'm going to go to Leicester Square. And it's so expensive. It's like
Well, yeah.
£15
Yeah.
or something for a
Yeah.
ticket. And I was like, this is like my ultimate dream. I've come to Leicester Square. I'm going to a big cinema. I've just done, you know, my dissertation on Taxi Driver. I'm going to go and watch something really horrible. I think I went to see some horror film. And I sat in the middle of Leicester Square. Nobody was there apart from one guy that came walking down, and obviously he was not right in the head, and he came and sat right next to me.
Oh, God.
And I was just sitting there, and he put his hands on his knees, and I was like that. No, this is no.
Yeah.
It's a no from me.
Did you move?
Moved. I went home.
Fled.
I went
Oh,
home.
really? God.
I went
Fair
to
enough.
HMV and bought a DVD, and I was like,
fair
no,
enough.
yeah,
God,
I'm
yeah.
done.
That's
It's a no.
Did you consider leaving London? Did you think that was going to happen every single time you went to
I
a
just
cinema?
got such a fright. I was like, why would you do that?
That's terrible.
You know, it's like,
If people, my other question is, if people are eating popcorn loudly next to you, do you have a go at them?
I do this. Seriously?
Oh wow.
Seriously?
I've been in the cinema with you.
Have you? I don't like it though. But do you know what? If you're that hungry, eat something before or have a wee snack when you're watching the trailers. Don't eat during the film.
So this ties in very nicely because one of your alter egos was part Floyd and Boyd on
Yeah.
Wits Tenant stand-ins,
Yeah.
where the Wits Tenant conduct is no crunchy food.
No
And
No
crunch.
loud food. No loud
Yeah.
food.
No
No
loud food.
crunchy food.
Or
Soft
smelly
food.
food.
Soft food's okay.
Yeah.
Do you know
Soft-
what? Yeah, exactly. Do you want a
Marshmallows.
marshmallow?
Ice cream.
Have a
Yeah,
marshmallow.
ice cream.
Do you want to
Mushroom,
suck
yeah.
a gummy bear? Suck it.
Sucking is kind of on the
Yeah, but don't do this.
cusp. No.
Just do this.
I went to the premiere of Murder on the Orient Express last week, and
Oh.
someone
Is it rubbish?
just throwing that in. And no, it's good fun. It's good fun. I have some issues with it. But
I'd say it's like 2 out of 5.
three,
2.5.
3.
2.5.
3.
2.5.
Anyway, this person next to me, this woman next to me, was eating popcorn really loudly, and further down my row, this other woman was furious with her and said, like, kind of nodded to me to shut her up, to stop her, and I'm like, well, I can't stop her. You know, it was a whole scene. Yeah,
But
but
you
a premiere, that's extra like.
That's
disrespectful,
really
isn't it?
rude.
disrespectful.
Yeah,
That's
it was a bit
rude.
much. Anyway,
But you know what? Someone once turned up when I went to see, I can't remember what it was. I went to an Everyman and someone bought a packet of crisps. Who
loads of people have
eats
crisps.
crisps?
Yeah, it happens all the time. They sell crisps. At the cinema.
Why would you?
I know it's bad. I know.
Seriously?
They still don't. Like
They sell loads of things. I
Yeah.
mean, hot dogs,
It's the nachos that-
nachos, right? Nachos. Nothing's crispier than a nacho.
No.
I mean,
Have it before. Have what you want. You're not going to starve. It's
we've-
like 2
this is
hours.
such a raw topic. For you.
Sorry, I'll get really, really upset. Sorry, it's 2 hours. You're not going to starve. Just do not eat. If you want your nachos, before or after. End of.
Let's do it. Well, that's
Thus
end
end
of
is popcorn
end of
time.
popcorn time from Popcorn Share.
Okay, so I ruined that, didn't I?
That was
No.
amazing.
It's good to know what people think about
Yes.
their cinematic treats. Stay co-compliant, guys. So the scores.
The famous scores. So
Right.
Imagine what's possible when learning doesn't get in the way of life. At Capella University, our game-changing FlexPath learning format lets you set your own deadlines so you can learn at a time and pace that works for you. It's an education you can tailor to your schedule. That means you don't have to put your life on hold to pursue your professional goals. Instead, enjoy learning your way and earn your degree without missing a beat. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
these are patented Flixwatcher scores. They are out of 5. You can have points if you want, decimal places. And the first up is our recommendability. So basically, you know, how much would you recommend it and sort of like your overall feeling towards this film? And we'll start with you, Gail.
Oh, so how much would I recommend Okja?
Yeah,
Out
out
of
of 5.
Out of 5, I would probably say it's really difficult to recommend films depending on your sort of. I go with 3.
Okay,
I go 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah, I say 3.5.
Boyd.
I'm going to go 4. Yeah, I think most people would get something out of it. Yeah.
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 I'm going to go 4 as well. I don't think it's perfect and there's a few things that don't quite work, but I think it's really interesting and bonkers.
Yeah.
And I like that it's on Netflix.
I'm going to give it a 4 as well. I think this is the kind of thing that would be hard to see in the cinema. I know what you're talking about before. We said it would have a limited release in the cinema, maybe like a 2-weeker. And it's great that things like this are on Netflix readily. And yeah, just have a go, I think. 4 for me. Repeat viewing score.
Have you seen this more than once?
I've seen it twice.
Yeah. Do you like it both times?
Yeah, I think the second time was better
Okay.
just because I was sort of.
You're ready for it.
I was ready for it because I was, at first I thought it was kind of like acute, what's going on, and then the second time, I mean, you understand what's going on by the end of it, but I think once you understand at the end, then you go back and watch it again. So yeah, I definitely recommend repeating. So what do I give it?
So I
Out
guess
of-
it's like how often you like it's like a gut instinct.
I'd
but
watch it twice.
Yeah.
So, and that's it.
And that's it. So not that high then.
No, it's not like the Harold and Maude, which I'd watch every week.
Yeah.
So that would be a 5.
Harold and
Where-
Maude, Harold and Maude would be a 5 for you. Where would this rank on?
This would be a 2.
All right, Boyd.
Well, weirdly, I've watched it twice as well because I had to review it and from like a streaming thing on Netflix, and then I watched it at home again in my huge TV in Ultra HD.
Just showing off now, isn't he? He's just showing off.
Yeah.
A massive TV.
It's massive.
With my massive shoes,
Yeah.
and my massive pajamas.
So I'm going to give it, and I really enjoyed it, so I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay, so you'd like to watch it again? Maybe not so soon.
I would go back, yeah.
In his massive house.
Helen.
Kind of.
Well, I watched it on my medium-sized TV in my tiny home. I've only seen it once. I'm not in a rush to go back and see it, but I think I would probably maybe watch it again. So down the middle, 2.5.
2.5. I'm going to go Boyd's side, 3, I reckon. Well, it's definitely worth watching again. And I watched it twice. And like with Gail, I think I got more out of it, a bit more out of it the second time. And I think I was focused on the pig so much the first time.
Yeah.
The second time around, I think I really enjoyed Paul Dano. I think he's really cool in this, and Stephen Yeun. So 3.
Can I have my extra 0.5 on the score?
You spent 2.5, sorry.
Yes, please. Thank you. Small screen score. This is the one that tends to be the most perplexing. So it's kind of what we've already discussed about it being on Netflix. Sort of think about, would you have liked to seen it on the cinema, but then also kind of think about it existing in the Netflix streaming world.
Yeah. So you had a massive TV, Boyd, so your small screen score might be different.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
So just means
Okay, so how would that work? So if I'd like to have seen it in the cinema,
It's got a lower small screen score, basically.
so
So if it works perfect for, it's like some...
But if you enjoyed watching it on the
I enjoyed
TV as
watching
well,
it, but I would have
then
loved to have watched it on the big screen just
Yeah.
because I'd love to see a massive pig on a big screen.
Yeah. So that means it
So
indicates
what
a smaller screen score.
that's at
Then.
least a 3, I'd say.
Okay, I'll go for the 3.
Boyd.
Well, yeah, it is visually impressive, but I still think it works. I'm going to give it 3 as well, yeah, I think.
Helen.
I'm going to give it a 4. I don't think, I mean, would I have gone to see it at the cinema? I probably would have missed it.
Hoping to catch it on Netflix anyway.
Yeah, so
I
this
probably
is
would have
it.
seen it at the cinema, but
Yeah.
I would have, if I knew that I had to watch it, I would have seen it in the cinema, but I wouldn't have gone, I wouldn't have queued up and gone, I'd love to. I wouldn't have gone to this, I wouldn't have queued up to see it.
Yeah.
It's not like I was waiting for Star Wars The Force Awakens.
And also, we've reviewed a couple of things that have got the Netflix sort of either branding or the Netflix money behind it that haven't been as good as this.
Yeah.
So this is definitely what they should maybe be doing a bit more of, getting this kind of talent as and one of their sort of Netflix originals, as they call.
I'm going to disagree with you and go for a 2. I think I would have liked to have seen this on the bigger screen and would have certainly had... I know it had a super, super limited release in the Curzon when this first came out in the UK, and I didn't get a chance to go and see it, but I would have liked to have done, I think. I'm not that big a fan of the actual pig itself in terms of the CGI. I think sometimes it's like... I think it's great, but sometimes it's, when Jake Gyllenhaal and the guys are touching it, it doesn't feel like as weighty.
But it's real.
Yeah.
No, it's real.
It's real.
It's
yeah.
going to come and live at my house. What are you talking about? I love that pig.
And come with you to Every Man in Belsize Park.
Absolutely. On a lead. In fact, you know what? Okja doesn't even need a lead.
No?
Because he's really well trained.
Very well trained.
Very well
Knows how
trained.
to rescue you from a cliff if you ever go walking a Hampstead Heath.
Exactly. Oh, I'm just going to... Oh, no. Oh, it's all right. Okja's got me. It's fine. I'm not going to die.
Not when Okja's around. Engagement score.
What does that mean? If you're going to marry the pig?
Sounds like you want to. Do
I so want that pig to live in my house, but it's a wee bit too big.
you want to explain it, Helen?
I mean, how engaged were you? Obviously, when you're watching a film at home on Netflix, it's a bit more tempted to, play on your phone and paint your nails, do things like that. Were you
Do my hair.
fully engaged, or?
Yeah, I was fully engaged. Yeah. I loved it. I didn't do anything apart from watch Okja.
Yeah.
So what do I get? Is that...
That's a high.
That's a 5 or a... There's a 1. What's the highest?
Highest is 5.
Highest 5. Okay, I don't know. I don't know how you do these things. Sometimes 1's amazing and 5's not. I don't know. I'm trying to deal with my daughter doing exams and she's like,
God.
yeah, 1's the best. I was like, what?
That's confusing.
I know, exactly. And I used to be blonde. Do you know what I mean? It's all very confusing. So I'd say a 5.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fully engaged, so I'm going to give it a 5 as well. Yeah.
Helen?
I'm going to go 4. I was mostly engaged, but I did do a little bit of Wikipedia, IMDb Just like, I've
Sharp intake of breath.
that person, yeah.
I was just thinking that
Yeah.
for drama. I could
liked
be in a
it. I
movie.
liked
couldn't I?
4.
So 4.
Not much, but a little bit. So I can't lie and say I was 110%.
I'm going to go 4.2. I liked, yeah. I think
2.
4.2.
Oh, I
4.2.
forgot we can give like
you can do whatever you want.
infinitesimal amounts of,
Adam Buxton gave it pi. Gave one score pi.
Wow,
That's
brilliant.
That's Adam
Buxton
Buxton,
for you.
isn't it? Yeah. We can't all be that clever.
Yeah, I was generally engaged. I think I was trying to work out where I can get Snowpiercer at some point.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I did think that. I was like, if this is like
Commend
this,
you my
what can
DVD.
Snowpiercer be like?
What's the Snowpiercer?
It's the film we
That's
talked
the film, the other film
on the train.
that you can't get hold.
Oh, right. The one that you can't get. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Main
right.
film.
I thought it was some sort of a dodgy, like, piercing that you get your nipples frozen or something. I've done that.
So that gives an overall. We get an overall score of 3.5, which is a bit. It's pretty good. I thought it'd be a bit higher than that.
Yeah, I think it's a bit low. I'll have to rethink.
But you only gave it a 3.3, so why would
I
that
gave
be
it a
higher?
4.
You gave an engagement score of 4, but then peak viewing score was quite low, and so was small screen score. You're the highest score overall, Gail. 3.75.
No, that's
Sometimes-
me. That's me.
That's
3.75,
Boyd.
Yeah.
I'm 3.375.
Yeah.
I'm actually
yeah.
the lowest.
You're the lowest.
Damn
Oh,
it.
sorry.
That's my film.
that is weird.
No, but that's just how it rolls. That's how
That's unique scoring system.
that's
for
how
you.
it works. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely unique.
Yeah. So, guys, I think great opportunity to let everyone know who's listening how we can find you online, and say sayonara, or say goodbye in whichever language.
Farewell from me at Boyd
I
Hilton.
thought you were going to go into the sounds of music there.
Farewell
Goodbye.
from me. Yeah, at Boyd Hilton. Yeah, on Twitter and what's the other one?
Arsenal podcast.
At
Arsenal
Netflix.
podcast at Netflix. I think you said. Yeah, I'm on Netflix. Instagram. Oh yeah, Instagram and Footballistically Arsenal podcast and Unmissables podcast. Oh god, just so much. Sorry.
So much.
Yeah.
I found there's many people that once you're on one podcast are on many podcasts. It's addictive,
the whole
isn't it?
world. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just very simple. I'm at Gail Porter. That's me on Twitter. And on Instagram, I am Gail Porter.
Ah. So we'll link to all these in the show notes, and so everyone can find you, basically.
Thanks for coming. on.
My address is my phone number, shoe
07.
size 4.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode. We had a lot of fun doing it. Please do check out all the details in the show notes to find out all the details about our guests, where to find them on Twitter, where to find their website, where to harass them. Don't harass them because they're very nice people. Thank you very much to our editors as always. Toby is the main guy who helms and carves our voices, and also hello to Tony, Jay and Greg and everyone else at Geo Productions who we haven't met yet. Of course, please big up Mighty People for the tunes you can hear now and at the start of the podcast. Please don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes, find us on Twitter at FlixWatcherPod, and visit our website, flixwatcher.tv.